Hey-o.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
To
Fuck
this
movie.
fucked it up.
It's never gonna work.
It's never
we
good.
should really try to set something up instead of just winging it.
Yeah. Whatever. I think that's the spirit of the thing.
Anyway, this is fuck this movie, and thank you for fucking with us.
We're gonna talk about some movies.
And my compadres here.
Yeah, compatriots.
We're bringing you a special Fucksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Due to it being Thanksgiving tomorrow.
But you know, the movie we're covering definitely make you give some thanks for things.
Yeah, there's some carving going on.
Yeah, some carvings. And
I'm thankful for my co-hosts, which are...
we're thankful for you too, Dustin.
Which, to my right, is the multi-award-winning tattoo person, John Brown.
So many awards. I mean, I just fucking throw them away.
He's just like raking them in. And to my
build
left,
convoluted
I
doodads
have award-winning snob window repairer and criterion collector, Reese Weiler.
That's
He
me.
just judges windows all day.
Yeah,
What the
and,
fuck is wrong with that window?
As always, I'm
I
the
kinda do
award-winning light bringer. Most light brought
Most light brought.
every
Brought
day.
in. Bringing the light.
Dustin Holler.
DJ Holla.
So on this Thanksgiving thing, right? So I was kind of trying to do a little bit of prep for once, and I was just kind of looking at headlines, just like movie related headlines, and I found this this article by it's like Men's Health. It's like their digital site or whatever. And they listed the top 32 Thanksgiving films of all time.
I was wondering about Thanksgiving films because I can't remember any of them.
And like,
I can think of three, but that's about it.
I just think Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah,
like
which
I
I always think is a Christmas movie, but it's not, right? It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's the only Thanksgiving movie that like pops into my head.
And then the one that just came out, that's
which,
called
by the way, 32
Thanksgiving.
films. The horror film Thanksgiving. Have either of you seen this? Or,
I almost watched it on Tuesday.
I have not. Anyway, Men's Health rated it the #1 Thanksgiving movie of all time.
That's good
I
timing.
may have seen it. I watched.
It's at
No,
the
it's
theater.
out- it's out right now.
It's
Oh,
at the
right now.
theater
Oh,
right now.
okay.
So if you guys ever watched the Robert Rodriguez and Quentin double feature Grindhouse,
Yeah.
So there was a fake trailer.
Yeah, there's a
for
bunch
this
of
movie
fake
that
trailers
this
in
movie
it.
was based off of.
yeah, and Eli Roth did one that was just called Thanksgiving, and this movie is based on that.
Yeah, it's
Trailer.
neat. That makes me want to watch it.
Yeah, you gotta love a
I've heard-
movie that's
I've heard
based
it's
off
pretty
of
fun.
a fake trailer.
I mean, hey, let's go. Let's run with
You
it.
gotta get inspiration wherever you can.
Okay, so there's an A24 movie called Krisha.
Okay.
And this takes place at a Thanksgiving, and it's kind of like a family drama thriller. I was wondering if this is on that list.
You
might have watched.
I don't know, but we can go through the list real quick.
There's like no name actors in
Yeah,
it.
that might be it.
The lead is like a middle-aged woman with like a broken arm or something.
Right.
Oh, did I say 32? It's 42. Well, we've got time. We can go through it.
Damn.
Yeah.
So #1 is Thanksgiving. #2 is Spider-Man.
Okay.
I guess it.
There's one scene with Thanksgiving in Spider-Man, the first Sam Raimi.
Well, that's a
Spider-Man.
fucking stretch.
That's the one.
they're
That's the
stretching.
one.
They're stretching.
National Treasure. Apparently. Fantastic
don't know.
Mr. Fox. Which like aesthetically, it kind of
definitely fits.
It definitely fits.
Yeah, but
Some of these I think just came out during
connection.
Thanksgiving. We have Miss Doubtfire, Prisoners.
These are the top.
Yeah, we're starting from the top and going down.
The very first scene of Prisoners, I believe, is like they're having a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
So like,
I'm trying to. Is there anything? Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I don't think that's a movie, but sure.
Yeah,
Short film.
it counts more than some of this other shit.
The New World. Anybody watch the New
oh
World?
my god,
Yeah.
that's just about the founding of America, so it's a Thanksgiving.
The Ice
it's gotta
Storm.
be. Yeah, I mean,
Was the Ice Storm a Thanksgiving movie?
I'm sure they're going
It's
to be.
around-
It's a
lumping
really good
a
movie that I
bunch of
haven't
colonial
seen in
shit.
way
Yeah.
too long.
A lot
So,
of these.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is number 15. I would
Wow.
never would have guessed that there were 14 other Thanksgiving
no,
movies
yeah, they
in
definitely
general.
should have ranked you higher just for the fact that it actually involves.
Oh, is the
Thanksgiving.
Adams Family movie on there?
So far, no, but we're only through like
Half of it.
18. I'm
Because
just
that
like
actually
scrolling.
has Thanksgiving
Krisha.
scenes.
Krisha is what you said, and
Okay.
that is number. Oh shit! My phone just did the thing where it's just like "fuck you" and all that you stand for. It was like number 19 or something like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, it was on your list.
I wonder if it's the
So-
one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. There's not enough good Thanksgiving movies, so
No,
even though I
there's-
haven't
But,
seen
like,
this,
what do you do with it?
There's not
I
much
don't
to
know.
do.
Like,
I mean, you can
it's-
shit on white colonialists. Like, that would
Is
be...
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
a Midsummer number 20.
What?
What?
It literally takes place in the summer.
Yeah, but
I guess it does kind of have like Thanksgiving vibes.
It has the...
But no, it
man,
has
this is,
literally
like,
nothing to do with
such-
Thanksgiving.
So much stretching here. So much stretching.
yeah, they say that the festival takes place in Scandinavia and during summer. The outcomes are pretty much the same as North America's autumnal history. Two cultures meet, bread is broken, and then they murder each other.
Oh, well, I mean...
So,
there is a so
fair enough.
Krisha is an A24 movie. There's another A24 movie that I believe is a Christmas movie, but it could just as easily, with the plot, be a Thanksgiving movie.
Right.
It's called The Humans.
Yeah, it's on this list.
It's on that
Yeah.
movie's fantastic. I highly recommend
Sin
it.
of a
What's-
Woman, number 22, one of my favorite films of all time. It does take place during Thanksgiving and does have a scene at Thanksgiving dinner, so I guess that counts.
That's all it takes, man.
Yeah, it's not a very
Apparently,
festive
that is all
movie.
it
It's
takes.
mostly about a blind asshole like taking his pain out on the world, and that's why
At
I
some
love
point in this movie, somebody said the word thanks, and in another scene, somebody said giving, so we're
Right.
counting it.
it. Yeah, I don't think that happens in Sin of a Woman. Nobody ever says thank you or giving or anything. It's a lot of like, I don't know.
Nobody says like, I'm really giving it to her, man. You know, something like that.
No, you clearly haven't seen Sin of a Woman.
I have not.
So no
that
Adam's
Al
Family
Pacino?
movie?
You know,
Because when
like
she's
my
at,
phone,
I
my
think
phone
it's
kind of
the, I
kicked
think
me
it's the
out.
second one, or maybe it's the second one. There's a scene where she's actually at like,
So that would be the Adams Family Values,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I would put on my list.
yeah,
They go to like summer camp,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they do a play that's about the first Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the second
That's
one.
the Adams Family Values. It's the second one. Both of those movies are actually really
Oh,
fantastic.
those movies
Yeah.
are like
They're
fantastic.
super
I would
fun.
make the argument that the original Adams Family, the '90s movies, are the best cast movies of all time.
Oh,
I'm there for
Yeah.
that.
Like I
Yeah.
think
They're really
every
good. Yeah.
like I was really the Netflix series. I was a little worried about it just because you have to overcome that,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. And like John, you had pointed out with the Fester.
Yeah, the Fester I thought was
Like I just think that like the comedic
Well-
genius that was
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, like
Yeah.
he tried to like go like he he wasn't as like awkward and like he was much more of like an outgoing like kind of hyperactive
Yeah.
Fester. Like he took it another way and
I
like,
don't know
it
if
didn't really match
I
up.
don't think the casting. I think they're right. I think they wrote Fester wrong there. I think the cast, like he could have been. I don't know that much of that guy's stuff. I've seen him here or there.
Right, but I mean, like writing is just writing lines, and the actors are the like if
Oh,
he's playing
yeah.
it hyper like that, like he did, then
I feel
Yeah,
like
but
that
the writing of that one was super weird, and I don't know. It was
that
just-
character is kind of like the Joker, and that like you don't really want to just copy what the last person did.
Sure.
You want to make it your own,
Yeah.
but then it's like a really hard character to balance of like making your own while also sticking to what is
Yeah, and
funny.
satisfying.
but
and
they're
fun
like
about
they're
the
like
character.
polar
Oh
opposites.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
super.
I
they're
mean,
super different.
he's just like, "Hi, I'm Fester," and
Yeah.
it's just like that's
No, he
not
was
what
too much
Christopher Lloyd did
dork.
at all.
He was too much
Yeah.
dork. Like you
Yeah.
could get attached to Christopher Lloyd's Fester. Like this guy is just like you just kind of want to leave the room.
Come join in on my
Like,
shenanigans.
Yeah.
oh, this guy's here.
I watched the animated Adams Family movie from like 2018, 2019.
I never saw
I
that.
think there's two of them. I think the first one's actually pretty okay.
Okay, then I
As far
won't
as
say
what
what
it
I was
is.
gonna say.
Well, I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's fine. But it's
I thought the movie was fine. I thought the animation was terrible. Like
well,
it
I
looked
don't.
like
Yeah, no.
a
I'm not speaking on the animation. The animation was what it was. It wasn't great.
yeah.
Speaking on the
The casting
animation
was
doesn't
actually
actually
good,
do any good on a podcast, as it turns out.
Yeah, I thought the story of that one was all right. I thought the writing was pretty good. I write off most, especially modern CGI animation. I just don't give that much of a fuck about most of it anyway. But I thought the story and writing about it was okay for what it was. It surprised me at least.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a complete shit show, but then the second one was like
I thought
a
it was
complete unforgivable.
I
shit show.
liked the. Not only did I think the cast was cast really well, voice cast, but I thought they all also would have made really good live action Addams Family.
Sure.
Like not Patton. Oscar Isaac was
He's just in every movie now.
yeah, but he was who's the Mr. Adams?
Gomez.
Gomez. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Gomez. I was
Raul
like,
Julia
oh,
is the best Gomez.
yes,
Angelica
yes.
Houston is like
Yes,
everybody.
they're all the best. But I'm saying modern times, Oscar Isaac, I think would actually be a really
Yeah.
good Gomez.
The only thing I'll give you is like maybe there's a better version of Pugsley out there because he was just
Well,
he's
he's
kind
like
of a worthless
literally
character.
the only character in that movie that's not like
Yeah.
of note. you
Yeah,
know?
he's just like kind of a worthless character.
Yeah.
No, I love the casting on those original.
Oh, no,
movies.
they're
And
good.
it's one of the like the Addams Family values is like every bit as good as the Addams Family. Like both of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Like I'm
Those are
sure that
both
if you
great. Yeah.
I'm sure if you looked it up, they'd like one of them's like probably rates a 7 on some website, and the other one's like a 6.2, and it's like that's not the case with these movies.
Right.
Like there's no step down. If anything, there are parts of the sequel that I like better than the original.
Yeah.
I think the sequel's funnier. Yeah.
Yeah, and like how they like they try to like brainwash the Addams kids at this camp,
Yeah.
and like it actually works for a minute. And like that's the best scene though is when they're doing the play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
she's
great.
like they're doing it like Disney characters, and all of a sudden she's like, no, wait,
Actually,
you're
both
just saying this so that you can steal our land and murder our women.
on Letterboxd, both the Addams Family and the Addams Family Values are 3.7 exactly.
3.7
out of
exactly.
5.
That's a pretty low score. 3.7. That's on a.
That's like, I feel like Letterboxd
well,
is a bit
it's,
more.
it's out of 5.
Yeah, that's out of 5.
It's,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's pretty
it's-
good.
Yeah,
it's acceptable.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. No. See if you narrowed it down to like 10, the top 10 best Thanksgiving movies of all time, those would actually be like pretty fitting, and the Addams Family Values would probably be like number 3 or something. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it'd be high up there. Then that's why it was dumb. That's like, oh, Spider-Man's got one Thanksgiving
Yeah,
scene. We'll put it
yeah.
at number 2.
The worst casting in those movies is actually to the characters that are like unnecessary, right? Like so
Right.
Joan Cusack, I think, was in the first one.
Second one.
Second one,
Was
yeah,
the
'cause
second
she was-
one?
that's
Oh
the
yeah,
one
she's
like
the,
trying
she's
to
like
seduce.
the yeah.
Yeah.
And like she just was kind of annoying. I thought.
Oh, you
which-
should have you watched them recently?
Oh, yeah,
She's
yeah.
really good. I
She
think
is,
she's
but
so
I
funny.
just think she's kind of annoying.
I think that's. I mean, that is the character at the end of the day. Like she's
Yeah.
kind of supposed to be.
She's the annoying character actress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Anyway, like as far as the core parts though, casting
Great,
Yeah.
great
best,
movie.
best ever. So I want to hit a couple more headlines while we're on the
All right, let's
headline
do it.
thing. So
The
I was-
headline of "It is
I
Thanksgiving."
was I just Google
If you didn't
yeah.
know.
So yeah, if you're listening to this in the future, this is the past speaking, and we recorded this on 11/22/23, and the headlines today in the movie world: all the actors are dropping out of the Scream 7 project. I read that and I was like, Scream 7?
Yeah, another one? Again?
That's a thing? Like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
a
it is.
project?
Why'd they drop out? I actually liked the last two. Scream
Well,
movies.
so
I'm
I guess
disappointed.
one of them got like fired for something, and then the other one just dropped out after the other person got fired. I don't know. One of them is the Jenna Ortega,
Yeah,
I guess,
Wednesday.
that was actually in the Wednesday series.
Yeah, she's huge right now.
Yeah, apparently she's too good for Scream 7 now because she's like, I'm out of here.
Huh. I mean, she's probably gone up in price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
But
She
God,
is,
why are we
she
still
is the thing.
why are we doing a Scream 7? Like,
They're
that's-
fun. I've watched the last two in theaters. They're really fun.
It's a thing that people like.
Yeah,
like,
I'd rather
people-
see Scream 30 than Saw anything.
I don't think that they're. I mean, I think Scream's probably better. It's definitely better produced. It's much better produced. We've had the Scream conversation before, and I accept that it's a thing that people
Scream
enjoy,
always loses.
and it is definitely not my cup of tea. I appreciate that there's a huge fan base and people super enjoy it. I don't think it's enjoyable at all because it's the same movie and over again. and it's people trying to be clever with something that was clever once, and then they've been riding the clever coattails ever since. And yeah, that's my take on Scream.
I don't think we don't need it, of course, but as far as like dumb, overdone franchises go, I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and so the thing for me too is I hate slashers naturally anyway. So like when it's a slasher that is literally just dudes with a knife,
Yeah.
I get so exhausted. And the last one I did watch 5. Remember Dewey died? Is that 5 or 6?
Yeah, 5.
5. Okay.
God, you guys and your spoilers.
Yeah. Well,
I've still only seen 2.
It's the stupidest fucking thing. It's case in point why I can't stand the franchise, because it's just like the entire franchise is just we're so fucking fourth wall. We're so fucking up and up on horror movies. Like, we're gonna follow all the horror movie rules. And every single character, as they brag about being so up on horror movie rules, breaks every rule and then dies in the stupidest fucking ways. And like, so maybe that's the shtick, and maybe it's funny to people. To me, it's just fucking irritating. And like, the original movie had a backbone and it was like something interesting, and then they're just like riding this fucking thing to death, and I just can't do it. But
well, yeah. Anyway, they're making another one of those.
Yeah.
Well, are they?
And apparently, all the actors are dropping out of it.
Yeah. Are they gonna? What are they just gonna reboot it again?
That's all it is.
Speaking of
it's a constant
rebooting
reboot.
again, you guys hear this one? Next year, we're getting a new Karate Kid movie.
Ugh.
Oh, I know.
Is it connected to the
starring
TV show?
Ralph Macchio
No,
and
that's
Jackie
sad.
Chan?
If it's starring Ralph Macchio, it must be connected.
And Jackie Chan as Mr. Han. So it's basically like
They're bringing
joining the
both-
two current
That's
Karate
kinda-
Kid worlds.
That's kind of fun.
Nice.
Directed by
I mean,
the
I'm not
guy
gonna
who did
watch it.
End of the Fucking World off of Netflix, which is a really
Oh, that show's really good.
it's a really
Yeah.
quality series, and so
Okay.
I'm kind of into it.
So, I will say the first 2 seasons of the Netflix series, was YouTube and then Netflix, I thought was fucking pure gold.
We're talking about the Karate Kid,
The Karate Kid series.
Cobra
I thought
Kai.
the first 2 series of Cobra Kai were fucking gold, man. I thought that shit was awesome. It was fantastic, and then it just fell the fuck off. So, if it can capture and keep some of that spirit going,
I'm sure it'll be
Then-
connected.
Oh yeah,
I
Because
can
Ralph
get behind
Macchio's
it.
in that at some point too. Right?
he's in the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the whole thing.
yeah. He's the like one of the main characters. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I'll
Like,
check it out.
I want to see
I'll
another
watch
movie,
it for sure.
and I like
Wait,
the
what's it-
idea of
what's it
joining
called?
those. I'm sorry.
Does it have a title?
It does not yet that I'm aware of.
Yet.
I'm sure it's gonna be called The Karate Kids or something.
Something
Yeah.
karate. There will be karate in the name.
Or it'll be like Miyagi,
The karate legacy. The karate family.
or just be like Han,
yeah.
a Karate Kid story.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'll probably just be called Karate Kid. Because that's what sequels are now.
Part
Yeah.
It's
2.
the same exact title.
Part
but
2,
It's
did they-
actually a sequel.
They never made a sequel to the Jackie Chan one, right?
No, they didn't.
The Karate Kid Part 2.
Yeah.
Boom. We got it. We figured it out.
Shit.
So anyway, I got one more article that,
Okay.
and it was here are the movies that are hitting streaming services during Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And
Quite the
the-
headline.
I didn't read the article, right? I just read the headline, and it
Right.
said Oppenheimer, Evil Dead Rise, Good Burger 2, and
Burger
more.
2.
Evil Dead Rise has been out for a while. So
I
that's-
saw Good
And
Burger 2
more.
advertised because I just picked up Paramount Plus and I
And
saw
more.
that preview and I'm like, really? Like now
Good
you're
Burger
making a
2.
now you're making a good burger? All right, sure,
Yeah.
man.
Oppenheimer's finally out on digital.
Yeah,
and Blu-ray,
I will
so you
definitely
can
be
finally
looking
watch
forward
it.
to watching that.
Good Burger
Good
2.
Burger
Yeah.
2.
I really
probably
needed that.
watch
Have
it.
you guys seen Good Burger?
I have, yeah.
I mean, fucking ages
Me
ago,
too.
dude.
Me too.
Ages ago.
Me too. I watched it one time,
Yeah.
ages
I
ago.
think I used to have the VHS.
Did not at the time immediately think they need to make a sequel to this
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. You didn't think it immediately. You didn't think about 25 years later.
Yeah, it's really hitting the spot for
really
people
did
right
not.
now, man. Like now,
Now more than ever.
yeah.
Is it the
We
same
need
guys?
A good burger to fucking, oh yeah, it is.
Same
Yeah.
guys that are like still working in a
Well-
burger joint. They're like 60.
Because Keenan is, or no, Keenan Thompson. He's like the longest running member on SNL.
Okay.
He's been on, so he's
Yeah.
still like in comedy. I have no idea what Kale's been up to.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done anything.
Yeah. Smoked a lot of weed.
Probably. Yeah. He's just every time his residual checks come in, he takes it to the dispensary.
Yeah. Pay my bills, buy my weed. Pay my bills, buy my weed. All right.
So anyway, that's gonna do it for the headline portion of the
That
the
does it.
entertainment tonight. I've got no more headlines. I ran out of time.
All right.
So
On to the next.
the reason we're gathered here today is for this movie that Reese picked.
You don't want to talk about what we've been watching
You
lately?
ever do the watch thing?
Hey, you guys been watching some shit?
I've been
I've
watching
been
some
watching
shit.
so much
I've
good
been
All
shit.
right,
watching
well
some
tell me
shit.
about it.
Yeah.
I watched this movie that Reese picked.
That's all you watched?
Basically, it's the only thing that's scripted that I've watched lately, and it's the only thing I've probably watched in entirety. I've been like, kind of like busy as fuck with work, and
I guess
Right.
we missed a week, right?
We did. Yeah,
okay,
we
that
had
explains it because I've got a shit ton that I haven't talked about. But I'll just try and hit the highlights, and you stop me if you want to talk about something.
all right.
I watched Dix the Musical in theaters. That's a brand new movie. It's an A24. It's their first musical. It's called Dix the Musical.
Is this about like a bunch of Nixons, or is this
No.
like about actual penises walking?
No, it's
around?
about like two rich guys who discover they're twins. But
And
the
they're-
joke is that they're just total assholes. throughout the
Okay.
whole
Yeah,
movie.
okay.
So they're dicks.
I assume it's a story of them maybe finding their humanity, or is it just them being assholes?
No, it is like balls to the wall, like stupid and funny the entire time.
Yeah,
But
right on.
it's like really well produced. The music
Right.
is like legit, you know. Joyride I watched for the first time. This is the one with what's his name from Fast and Furious from the 90s. Paul
Yeah, I remember
Walker.
seeing. I remember
Paul
seeing
Walker.
the Paul Walker's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's
But
dead.
this is from 2001.
I would like to point that out.
Good, thank you.
So,
That's Paul Walker and Steve Zahn.
Steve
Oh
Zahn.
God, Steve.
I thought this movie was really great. It just felt like I love 90s horror, and this felt like
Have you seen? Speaking of Paul Walker, have you seen Tammy and her T-Rex?
no, but it was for sale for like $3 on Vudu, so I bought
It's
it.
You should watch it.
Paul
and tell
Walker
me-
in it?
Yeah,
Oh, I did not
I
know
think
that.
it's probably his first fucking movie, along
Probably.
with the chick Denise Richards. I think it's his and Denise Richards' first movie. There's a bunch of like '90s people in
Yeah.
there. Like, you'll see all kinds of people, but it's fucking hilarious
Yeah.
though. Just
I'll
it's
have to get into
hilarious. Robotic
Um,
dinosaur.
I watched In the Mouth of Madness for the first time.
That's
Haven't seen
my
that
dude, fucking Burt Reynolds. Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
No, this is John. It's directed by John Carpenter. I don't know, what are you thinking of? In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, I am
it's a-
thinking of John Carpenter. I'm mixing two movies.
Sam
okay.
Neill.
Oh, Sam Neill. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, John,
Oh,
my God.
okay. Yeah, I
you
want to
were
watch
gonna
it.
love this movie.
I love Sam Neill in that shit. Ever since I saw
Yeah.
Possession, like I love.
Oh
Sam
yeah,
Neill in
if
that
you
kind of
like
shit.
classic Sam Neill horror movies,
Yeah.
this is my God.
Sam
it's
Neill's
so
fucking
good.
dude. I'm
This-
a big fan of Sam.
If
Neill,
you like
honestly.
Edgar Allan Poe, if you like Stephen King, this movie is like the references, like they literally mention like it's about an author, and there's like this guy's outselling Stephen King, so they
Right.
just like reference everything they're like that they're talking
Right.
about, you know, and like using as inspiration. But oh my God, this movie is so good.
No, I'm gonna make a note of that one for sure.
Yeah, In the Mouth of Madness. See, like I'm going back into Halloween movies from
Yeah.
October. Let's see.
It's got a little more Thanksgiving with these selections.
I saw the Marvels in theaters. I thought it was fun, but it's obviously like not for anyone who doesn't like the Marvel movies anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all just at
is
that
it,
point.
Is
where
it
it's
coming
just-
down? Like you said, it was fun, but like it's obviously like next tier, right? Like
What do you mean? Like not as good as past Marvel movies?
yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's like just a
What-
kind of dumb fun blockbuster. It's
As
at
a,
no point.
as a guy who's like you're really into him, like what's the last like great like
Okay,
Marvel
well, that's-
universe movie that you've seen? Like aren't
Rough.
they just kind of like running out of ideas at this
No,
point?
yes and no, because like almost all of the new characters that they're coming out with, like Shang-Chi was pretty, forgettable. Some of the TV shows, I fell off the TV shows almost instantly. That's just so much to keep up with. But like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I thought was really good. It was a fantastic ending to the trilogy. Like I thought that was like, so that might be the last. I think if they should have ended the Marvel franchise with Guardians of the Galaxy, but also cut out like 3 movies that came out before that.
Yeah. Oh,
Ant-Man,
yeah.
Ant-Man Quantumania, I think, was the nail in the coffin as far as like, oh my god, this movie sucks.
Not Morbius, because that movie was.
Oh, that was a Sony Marvel movie.
Oh, okay.
Marvel Universe.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ, can't even keep up with this stuff.
No, Morbius I did not watch, but if it's anything like the Venom movies, which I have seen,
It's a heaping pile of shit. That movie was
oh
terrible.
my god, the Venom movies are god awful. I don't know how those, and the new one, Kraven the Hunter, it looks like it would have been the worst movie to come out in 2004, not let alone 20 years later. I don't know why they're coming out with that shit.
Yeah, is that like expected to be a piece of shit, or like, because I've
think
seen
so.
that trailer like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
for a while. Like
it got pushed. It was supposed to come out like this month or last month.
Like, right? Is this a writer strike thing?
Yeah, because of the writer strike, they pushed it till next year.
It's kind of iffy, right? Because like they're in post production at that point. Like the writers.
No, I mean, it would have been. It's that is not so much the movie wasn't complete. It's more that they would worry about not running out of movies to have in your release schedule before.
So they pushed it. They're trying to.
If they released it now, then their March might be kind of like.
Okay, that actually makes sense to me.
That's also why Dune got pushed till next year. Otherwise, Dune would also have been out in theaters for like 3 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
But they pushed it till next
Super
year.
fucking excited for that.
Fucking dicks.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Money hungry fucking assholes who couldn't just say yes and get back to making movies. But they finally did it. The strikes are over. So
they're so replaceable too. Like anybody can write. Anyway,
I was talking about the people running the companies.
Oh, no, I was talking about the dicks who were striking.
I watched the new David Fincher movie, The Killer. On Netflix, which just like came out, like nobody talked about it.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was kind of like mid tier for David Fincher, but like,
you're like happy with that at this point, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of hope for like, best
mid-tier
movie of the year type stuff from him. But it was a great movie. I recommend it to you guys. Let's see what else. Priscilla. I watched Priscilla in theaters. I really enjoyed it. The ending was kind of. But I mean, still, it came to Warsaw. I was very excited for that.
I saw the story as a child on like a made-for-TV miniseries, so I don't feel like I need to relive it.
It's probably not for you.
I mean, I thought that the miniseries, from what I remember as a child, was pretty good.
Yeah, it's an interesting story.
But once you know the story,
it's understandable why it's not as popular as like an Elvis biopic, because people love Elvis and they don't want to be like, wait, should I not like Elvis? Because it wasn't like a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
You should kind of have a side eye anytime a 25-year-old starts dating a 14-year-old or 15-year-old, however old it was. But whatever, it was a good movie.
What a legend.
I got there's a Criterion half-off sale going on in Barnes & Noble right now, so I bought Crash. The David Cronenberg Crash, not the Oscar-winning Crash. Have you guys seen Crash?
I've seen the Oscar-winning Crash, not the David Cronenberg
I don't know.
Crash.
I've seen a Crash, and I remember it being really fucking weird, and people like getting off on cars.
Yes, that's this one.
Okay, all right, yeah.
It's starring James Spader and Holly Hunter.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
It's basically like it's like super perverts that like get off on the idea of car crashes and
super.
So they're very similar movies.
Yes, yeah. There are car crashers in both movies, but
and there are perverts in both movies.
I watched it a long time ago, so I can't really speak on the film itself because it was all I remember was like I think of shit when I watched it. I was probably like 17.
Is there racism in both movies?
No, I don't think there was any racism.
Just a lot of autoerotica.
Oh, I mean, also just normal erotica. This movie, I believe, has more sex scenes than I've ever seen in like a mainstream.
Pretty fucking erotic,
Somebody, my roommate walked in while we were like halfway through, and I was like, "Hey, just a heads up, there's a sex scene about every other scene in this movie." And I thought, that's an exaggeration. And no,
and then it just
I paid attention for the next hour of the movie. Literally every other scene was a sex scene, and like nudity, like more graphic sex than you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
I'm adding it to my list.
Car crashes.
I'll lend you the Blu-ray too, or it's probably on the Criterion channel. It's fantastic. And then earlier today, I went and saw Saltburn in theaters.
Saltburn.
which is, if anyone watched the movie Promising Young Woman a couple years ago with Carey Mulligan, this is from the director of that. It's starring Barry.
I do like Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, she's also in this, but not for very long. But it stars Barry Keoghan from Banshees of Inisherin. Remember?
Oh, I need to watch that fucking movie still.
He's got a really unique face.
See what? Yeah, he's the one that plays.
He's Irish.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's the lead, and then Jacob
Looks Irish.
Elordi, who's in Euphoria and also in Priscilla,
Yeah.
is like the other lead, and it's super good. Oh my god, it's
But
it's
by
a
the way,
fantastic movie.
you should watch Euphoria. Just listener.
Oh, I love Euphoria.
Euphoria is the shit.
I haven't
Euphoria
watched it yet.
is like-
Euphoria
It's
is
on
the
my list.
fucking shit.
Is just like
Um,
drugs for your eyes.
It's like is it about teens? Yes. Is it teen drama? Kind of, but you'll like it.
Well, I mean,
Is it like the common thing where they get a bunch of 25 and 30-year-olds to play teens? Yes. I don't give a fuck. It's so good. It's so good.
it's well, you know,
it's teens, but it's not for teens. Like,
no, I view
you don't
that
let your teens watch it.
Euphoria is like giving the attention and like drama to teen drama that they think it has. You know, it's like
Right,
the
right.
weight. You know,
It's-
everything is the end of the world. Everything is like,
yeah.
you know, terrifying and beautiful.
It's what it
and
actually
scary.
is when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's what they.
It just
that's-
feels real. If you like Euphoria, which I love Euphoria,
I fucking love
You
you.
will like
I-
Saltburn.
I think
It
Euphoria
is-
is the like freshest, most interesting
It
series
is.
that they've done in
Yeah.
so long.
I'm kind of
I'm
pissed that
I'm
we
kind of
I mean,
obsessed
we
with
might
it.
not ever
Yeah.
see season 3.
Yeah,
Because they said it's not supposed to come out to like 2026.
Yeah,
and then
like
all the actors are going to
best,
be like in their
like the best
mid-30s.
character, like the actor fucking died. And like,
Yes.
so they're gonna have to write him
Yeah.
out, and like that's
Yeah,
That
that's a
sucks.
weird situation. But if
Yeah.
Euphoria was like a movie genre, this Saltburn would
Yeah.
definitely be in that genre. It's not in Warsaw, unfortunately, but I saw it in South Bend, and it's also in Fort Wayne.
Okay.
2 hours long, really, really interesting movie.
All right.
And that's
that's all he
the
watched.
highlights.
I've watched not as much as I would think, not as much as that, but some good stuff. I talked to you guys about it not that long ago. I Am Not a Serial Killer is one movie that I watched that I definitely want to highlight. It's a really really
that's
cool
a movie you watch. Not,
Yeah.
not a confession.
No, although so watching
For
this
the
movie,
record.
no, watching this movie.
Oh,
all right,
he will not say that.
the character, it's about a young kid in high school whose parents run a mortuary, and he's to a degree involved. Dies out of the picture. Mom runs shit. He's there helping out, and the kid is like has all the like he's a sociopath, has all the tendencies of a serial killer, like going through counseling for these tendencies, all this shit, and like as I'm watching the movie, like the kid's name in the movie is John, and as I'm watching this movie, like fuck, man, this is pretty fucking reminiscent when I was in high school. Like I had to tell several people that no, I'm not a serial killer. It's okay. It's so sociopathic, but I'm not a serial killer. I promise. And the kid like looked like me too, like fucking skinny white dude with fucking longer hair. Like oh, it was weird. But no, he ends up. There's a bunch of gruesome murders in this town, and he ends up kind of catching like doing his own investigation, finding out who the killer is, and then it goes from there. And ends up being a degree of a monster. Like it turns into a monster movie about half, like once you get into it. But it's really good. The main character is played by Max Records, which is a hilarious name. And then the villain is Christopher Lloyd
Oh shit!
from earlier.
I love him.
Yeah, and he plays pretty much a monster. It's really good, man. Like a lot of really solid performances, really, really solid performances, really interesting idea.
You could make the argument he's the most underrated talent of our generation.
Dude, Christopher Lloyd is fucking
Did you guys watch Nobody from a couple years ago?
with Saul?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Saul
yeah,
Goodman.
Yeah.
He was so fun in that.
Yeah. Which that was a good movie. But yeah, so I'm Not a Serial Killer. Very much a gem, like a horror gem for sure. Just a really solid flick for sure.
Where'd you watch it? Shudder.
Shudder. Yeah. I watched a lot of Shudder.
I'm honestly sold just because Christopher Lloyd's in it.
Dude, it's so good. No, the kid, I think that you'll really enjoy the kid's performance. It's super fucking solid. So I watched that. That was the biggest highlight film-wise. I talked to you guys about a little bit ago that I had watched a movie on Netflix. I kept eyeballing but never actually pulled the trigger on, and then I finally did, which was the title is A Classic Horror Story.
Yes.
And I never actually committed. We watched it the other day, me and the wife, and it was good. She wanted to watch it dubbed instead of subbed, and I really want to watch it again.
I'm assuming it wasn't in English.
No, it was a Spanish film.
Okay.
And
it was an American movie, but she wanted to watch it with Spanish dubs.
That'd be weird.
I just want to know how the other side
with pikey subtitles.
But it was pretty much like it is a degree of what you expect for a movie with that title, and that's the film is a play on that idea, and there's an interesting reveal, and it's a cool setup. It's really well done, honestly, but it's one of those times that just man, the fucking dubbing just takes you out of it. By the end of the film, I watched it, finished it, and I like a lot of these things, but there's something that's just holding me back from really being into this film, and that's it. Because the voice actors just don't match.
Yeah.
They never quite match across the board. There's always something to take you away from it, but so I want to watch that again. I do recommend watching it. I do recommend watching it with subtitles, so it's more natural. But yeah, it was a really good take on the horror genre for sure. A little bit of a twist reveal. A fair amount of a twist reveal at the end. I don't want to give anything away, but definitely something to check out. Otherwise, the thing that I've been watching most is I got Paramount Plus with Showtime, so I could watch the newest South Park special, which...
Well, wait. Are you paying for both Showtime and Paramount Plus?
They were grouped together, yeah.
There's a new TV show that I really want to watch, but as far as I can tell, I need to pay for both Paramount Plus and Showtime to be able to watch it. And it's driving me insane.
Yeah, well, if I can come over to the house, we'll watch it.
What is it?
It's called The Curse. It's Nathan Fielder, if you've ever seen the show. Nathan For You, or his last one he did was The Rehearsal.
I've seen it advertised on there.
It's fantastic. He's incredible. You would like anything he has his hands on.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. You look at any of his older shows too. It's super interesting.
So yeah, I picked that up to watch South Park, the new special, which I super enjoyed. South Park is what it is. Not everybody's down for it. I think I think all their stuff, especially in the recent years, has been super fucking
I think those guys are
poignant,
fantastic,
and just brutally honest, and just fucking surgical in their assessment, and just how they reveal what society is and what's happening. So I definitely recommend that special too, joining the Panderverse, if you haven't watched it.
Man, I haven't watched new South Park in I don't know, 5 years or something.
There's some really good stuff. They had a couple of years that was a golden age, probably back in 2012, 13 maybe. The season that was not the Streaming Wars, where they pitted themselves against Family Guy to a degree. That season was fucking gold, where Cartman freezes himself so he can get a Wii, and he wakes up in a future where there's no religion, because fucking the teacher ends up fucking some dude and stopping our religion from happening, but in the future everyone's still just fucking killing each other in the name of science. Brilliant shit. No, it's your science is wrong, my science is right, and just fucking murdering each other. That season is fucking gold. But anywho, no, since I had that, I got to watch the second season of Yellow Jackets, which
there you go.
with Christina Ricci is fucking goddamn fantastic. Man.
Yeah.
That show is so well written. It's so good. The characters are so endearing. If you haven't watched Yellow Jackets, it's fucking fantastic. I recommend everybody watch that show. And Christina Ricci's just a goddamn doll, dude. She's so awesome in that show.
Yeah, she's fucking creepy as shit.
She is, but man, if she's on your side. That character is that's the one you want to have in your back pocket, dude. She's crazy. So yeah, that was the biggest thing. I've been churning through that for the last week or so, getting through those episodes.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much does it for me.
Reese said it was one of the first conversations we ever had. We were talking about that show, and you're like, I like how it's there's like a little bit of supernatural, but like it's so on the fringe that you don't really know if it's real or if it's just like
you got to get into like
and
halfway through season 2 to like for it to be confirmed, kind of.
Yeah,
and it's still like,
it's still like
it's
very
still,
fringy. Like there's nothing concrete about what's going on.
Yeah.
It could just all be fucking nuts.
Yeah,
like, that could be the answer. They
Yeah.
were out in the wilderness and they're fucking crazy.
No, and the soundtrack is fantastic. Of course, it hits for guys that are old, like people that are older. You know, but the use of it is, fuck man, so good. It's a stellar fucking show.
I love that format, right? It's like
it's
really
great. Yeah,
Lost was the first series to really do it, where you like your characters are centralized one place, but like every episode was like another character's like flashback to what their life was before this. And like they were the
Haunting
first ones.
Hill House was
and like Haunting of Hill House was like the next one. And it's like a thing that you're starting to see, and it's just a really cool way to tell a story.
Oh, it is. It is, because you capture, like, you get, and this is the thing I said about Haunting Hill House, is like, you get this drama, this really gritty, hard-hitting family drama that while you watch it, you end up watching a horror film.
Yeah.
You know, like the flashbacks, if you compile them together, are basically like a fucking really good horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, I love the format.
They
So
do that
cool.
in his new one too, which I'm assuming you guys still haven't
Black
watched.
Mass. So I started episode 1 and fell asleep like 30 seconds into it, but I was intoxicated.
You mean Haunting or the
Black Mass? Or Midnight Mass. Sorry.
Oh, you're watching Midnight Mass.
Okay. You're talking about.
I'm not.
The Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah,
Fall of the House of Usher.
Yeah, they do that too, where it's jumping back and forth between
okay.
like the main characters, like modern time, and then he's telling a story about like the last like few years, but then you're also getting his like origin story like 30 years ago. And so like you kind of the whole movie or the whole show, the series, you're like leading up to like what happened to lead to the modern events. It's really, really good. So it's like double mystery happening simultaneously.
Lost was the first series to really capitalize on that. And it's just like, here's a bunch of characters on an island, like shipwrecked,
Right.
and they don't really give you anything about the characters other than what you're seeing them do when they're in this panic situation. And then each episode is like based around a character where they do a flashback where it goes between scenes of now on the island and then previously when they like in their actual life. And so as you get into the series, you start to piece together things about like, okay, like who is this character really? Who were they before? You know, and it's like who they are now. Like some people you might be like, oh, this person's like really helpful and just like seems like a really good guy. And then you see like their history, like that person's not really such a good guy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's like how circumstance and like the ability to start over can change like how people actually like react in certain environments.
Oh yeah,
it's just
for sure.
It's a neat little like culture study. And,
Yeah.
it's why it's like still to this day, like say what you want about the shitty ending, like it's just one of the best series ever made. And I feel like everybody should give it a go.
Yeah.
The same guy did. I liked how he did in Leftovers. How I think every episode kind of starts with just like a flashback to a sometimes not even related to a character in the episode or the show.
Yep.
Just like a flashback to history or someone else's experience with the I don't remember what they call the event. Do they just call it the event?
Yeah, it's like it's got like a date.
Yeah,
It's like 9/11.
It's like 9/11. Yeah.
It's like
that. Oh my god, I need to rewatch that show. That show is so good.
that show is like, again, it's the same concept. It's like it's the same creator.
Yeah.
Well, one of the two creators.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's both of those shows are just so fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I did
They like suck you in too.
I did also watch the newest season of Rick and Morty.
Oh, is that out?
It's happening. It's not easily available, but you can watch it on Adult Swim for no.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a membership or anything. You just go to adultswim.com.
Is that where you
You have
watched
to,
it?
yeah, you have to watch some fucking ads, which is awful, but whatever.
I'm surprised you did that.
I know. I did it for Rick and Morty. All right. Yeah, it's fucking. It's hard.
Oh, I know. It sucks.
It's
so
hard, dude.
bad.
Ads make me like literally go fucking bloodlusty berserk. Like I can't do it. But
I'll never forget being in Fort Wayne in that theater with you when they were doing ads.
oh,
and you were
dude,
just like,
I almost
this
had
is
to leave.
fucking terrible.
I almost had to leave, dude. That was one of my worst experiences as a human being ever. Was sitting through that shit. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But anywho, so yeah, things changed for the show. It is not bad. It's not the same. Give it a season or two, and I feel like it'll really be back to where you want it to be.
Where it should be.
How do you
Where it
feel
should
about
be.
what they did with his voice? Which
The voice actors have the voices. The problem is because they're maintaining the voices, they aren't giving the same performance. Right?
because he's more working on the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
voice.
He's like, the voice is spot on, but he's not giving you the same performance.
That's kind of exactly what I was worried about.
Yeah, and it's okay. And that'll naturally level out
Yeah.
as he gets into practice and shit. So it's okay, but yeah, no, it's I have faith in it. I haven't finished the season yet. I got about 4 or 5 episodes. I think 4 episodes through, but yeah, if you were a fan of Rick and Morty, don't be scared of the changes. It's not as heavy hitting writing yet. It might get back to it. It's still clever and interesting and fun. So
Yeah.
it's essentially, it's still good. So
Right on.
all right. Moving on, since you didn't watch anything, right, Mr. Holler?
I did. I watched one movie twice, and
Yeah.
that movie is The Green Room.
All right.
Reese,
Nice.
this was your pick for this week.
Yeah.
Tell us what we need to know to have a conversation about Green Room.
Yeah. We'll start with the information first. Green Book, if for anyone, we will get into spoiler territory pretty casually for
Yeah,
anyone who wants
for
to
sure.
watch before you listen, and I highly recommend you do. It is streaming currently on Max, looks like. And available to buy on all the normal sites. Green Book, according to
Green Room.
Don't watch Green Book, please.
You
Green
said it
Room
twice,
is
too.
on Max.
Why shouldn't I watch Green Book?
Did you like Crash?
No.
Then you
Well,
won't
which
like
one?
the Crash you saw. If you didn't like Crash, you won't like Green Book. It's the same exact message of, wait a minute. If I spend time with a black person, I'll realize they're a human. Like,
Yeah,
wow,
right.
good for you.
Yeah,
Good
you got
job.
there.
I will
You
stop
got there.
sexually assaulting them.
Yeah. Okay. Green Book. It's in my brain now. Green Room. Directed by Jeremy Saulner. The letterbox synopsis says, a punk rock band becomes trapped in a secluded venue after finding a scene of violence. For what they saw, the band themselves become targets of violence from a gang of white power skinheads who want to eliminate all evidence of the crime.
Yeah,
And the
that's pretty accurate.
tagline, according to Letterboxd, is one way in, no way out. Which I think
That's a
I
fair
like the
enough
tagline. I don't know, like, what does the one way
hate
in
that.
mean?
Yeah.
There was more ways into the
It's not a
place.
gay bar.
There were, and
You
they
only
did.
come in the
like,
front door.
Maybe it's
There
maybe it's
were
the green
ways out.
room. The green room. There was only one way into the
Oh,
green
then
room.
yeah,
That's-
okay,
that's
yeah.
true.
I think that does
That's
apply to the
true,
green
yeah.
room. That's true.
Which I felt like a total idiot watching it this time. Like, oh, like
Yeah.
a green room.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I thought the title green room meant before. I was just a total idiot, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so this had been on my kind of short list of stuff to bring to the podcast at some point because I knew you guys would like it. I think, John, you
I
said you had
had
seen
seen
it,
it,
but
yeah.
you didn't seem to remember a lot about it. And
Oh,
Dustin,
I
Yeah?
remember a good amount. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. For sure.
yeah. And then Dustin
Oh.
hadn't seen it, and I knew you'd like it. And then I think it was just good timing because we just watched Murder Party and it's the
Yeah.
same director.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let's go for it. And I didn't have like a heavy opinion one way or the other. So, but I think it was a really good watch
Yeah.
with you guys specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely dig it a lot. I didn't remember exactly. No, I had a pretty good recollection of it, but yeah, it's definitely something that I enjoy. I enjoy I think they captured, as a person that's super into punk rock culture, I think they captured what punk rock is
Yeah.
in the band.
I think,
Like,
they really
it's-
captured like the purity of like punk rock.
Yeah, and it's the fact that everybody, so in the film, like once these guys the beginning of the film is they get stranded, and then they have to like secure a show, and they do so. There's the first show that you see that you would see when watching this film is a show organized by this guy that's at a college that was supposed to organize a show for him, but the show fell through. And like this guy that organizes the show that runs a little like a radio interview thing for the college, like he's the guy that you think of when people say punk rock, right? When he is the guy with the fucking mohawk and the fucking studded leather jacket and yada yada yada. And like that's what people, that's the aesthetic, the established aesthetic of punk rock. And what I love about the movie and the capturing of the actual spirit of punk rock with these characters is the band members are all just fucking people. Yeah. You know, like the thing that I hate the most that's attached to punk rock is the aesthetic. Is the fucking stupid spiky hair, is the fucking studded leather jackets, is the fucking safety pins and all this dumb fucking shit. Like none of that is fucking punk rock, but this band is very much punk rock because they're just normal. They're just fucking people that care about what they're doing and are driven to pursue what they're doing and doing it in the most honest and earnest way possible. So, like, I really dug the fact that they really did capture a fucking punk rock band and like doing what they had to do, like on their little fucking tour in no-name places with no-name bands and no-name people. They're fucking doing what they got to. They're siphoning fucking gas when they have to, you know. So yeah, I really like, one thing that I do dig about this movie for sure is because I am of the punk rock culture, like I really appreciated an honest look at it. It has the same kind of honest look at the culture that SLC Punk does. You know,
yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But it's been
you ever
on.
seen SLC Punk?
No, it's been on a watch
No,
list
it's
for a long
fucking
time.
good. That might have to be a pick of mine then. But yeah, no, it's fucking.
You, right? It's your pick this week, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's a fucking kick-ass movie, man. It definitely, once this thing gets rolling, man, it rolls. And there's some shit happening for sure. And so the last episode we were talking about Hereditary and there being no like fucking stupid things to do, and like this stupid one of the first stupid things the characters did in this movie, which is also just super true to form for who these characters are. Once they get to this, so after the first show falls through, they get lined up with, you know, a sketchy ass show at a place where there's lots of fucking red laces. The guy warns them, like, yeah, there's lots of red laces, like, be careful.
Yeah.
Very Nazi-ish. And they're like,
Don't talk politics.
Yeah. And they, first thing they do is do a cover of Dead Kennedys, Nazi Punks, Fuck Off. And like, probably not the smartest thing to do, and especially like getting to this venue was like in the middle of fucking nowhere, like miles and miles and miles away from anything, and you're gonna go to this fucking concrete ass building with all these fucking red lace ass Nazis. Yeah. And the first thing you're gonna do is fucking
I do recall the advertising on this movie being very much like they go to a Nazi bar and sing Nazi punks fuck off, and then the Nazis try and kill them, and that's not really the plot of the movie.
No, they didn't kill him because of that. And actually, that's what I really enjoy about. I dug that part of it too because they did that. And then, like, all the Nazis are obviously fucking pissed off. Like, fuck you. And they just get in their set. And, like, everyone just fucking, like, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, fuck it. We're here to fucking listen to punk rock music. Like, told us to fuck off. We respect that. We're still jamming to your shit. Yeah, it didn't fall off the rails until they saw what they saw. Yeah. Which was a lady with
a murder.
A murder.
Yeah. Knife stuck in the head. Whack.
Yeah, we don't actually see how that happens.
We don't, but I can imagine it.
They just kind of like wander into the green room.
Yeah, well, it's after they're set. Everything's checking out. Everything's good. They're like, okay, guys, like here's your money. Go ahead. It's like, oh, I forgot my cell phone, and he just walks in like, to the girl's cell phone. Getting the girl's cell phone. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That bitch's dead.
Almost doesn't see it. Like he's almost
doesn't.
Like
if he
not
would have just
looking.
been like whoop and just went back out, like if he wouldn't have paused.
Yeah, so
That's another like subtly brutal part is when the guy like drags her body by the knife in her head. Like,
no, when they're like,
jeez.
she can still be alive. He's like, he like picks up the knife and like
There's
her
no
head
blood.
around.
Yeah,
It's like,
there it is. Yeah, that is the thing that I really
that was funny.
I love about this movie is the use of gore. It's very, very controlled, and it being controlled makes it super fucking impactful.
Yeah.
When you see the gore in this movie, which is superbly done, fucking just
It's used
Fuck.
very deliberately.
yeah,
Like,
very deliberately, and there's an exact amount of it.
Yeah.
When they want you to see it, and it is fucking hard hitting, dude. Like
Yeah.
you will like coil in revulsion
Yeah.
from what you're gonna see in this movie for sure.
Yeah. Nazis with blades,
Yeah.
Nazi dogs, and
Very well prepared Nazis. I mean, you got to give it the head Nazi is played by Sir Patrick Stewart,
Yeah.
which is a funny fucking role for him. to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
Such a weird role, but he
Yeah.
does so good at it.
He does great, and these motherfuckers are organized for sure. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, so Nazis historically been pretty organized. For what they do, they have their shit together usually.
Dustin, what did you think of the movie?
oh, did I not say?
I don't think so.
I
Not
enjoyed
yet.
it. I enjoyed the movie overall. I don't think it was perfect. I think it had some. I think it had its issues, but most movies do.
Yeah, every movie you can pick something out.
Yeah. And I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought some of the performances were kind of like mopey.
Yeah.
Like the main dude, like his little paintball story. I was just like, okay, you know. And just like I thought some of the attempts at like the casual thing that were like off the storyline, like talking about like their top favorite, like their top 5 bands or whatever, and then there's like at the end there's kind of like a little joke about it.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, like, I didn't need all that. But as far as it just being, you guys sold it to me as a kind of like a thriller. To me, I think I would put it in the horror genre.
Yeah. More horror than thriller.
Yeah.
I think they're equal parts.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50
I just
for
don't
me.
think thriller. I think that if there's somebody who's not into horror but likes thrillers and you sold this to them as a thriller, I think that they're gonna probably be mad at you. Is what I would say. I think that
I guess I feel the thriller genre tag more because of like it feels so grounded and realistic.
It
and
is
like,
grounded, and
It's
and I-
100% real.
And I guess it's just all about your definition of horror, and like there's nothing supernatural here. There's nothing like evil. I mean, I guess it
depends on what you think about Nazis,
I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, some of the Nazis are evil. Some of them are okay. I guess.
Oh, here we go. Dustin saying hashtag not all Nazis.
Oh yeah, you got to pick and choose. With anything. But yeah, for the most part, I enjoyed it. I thought there were like a couple of physical things that I was like, maybe that's a little far fetched. The taping up the dude's arm when it gets chopped up, like, I think that's a good, like, that was a clever thing. Like, oh, your arm is chopped in like a million little pieces. Let's wrap it in duct tape. I think that would be effective, but like as tight as they were wrapping that duct tape, his arm would like have been basically falling off by the end of the movie.
Well, I mean,
And it was still pretty functional.
I don't think he didn't use it. He was only one-handed.
I mean, he sure as hell wasn't dragging it. I mean, you kind of forgot about it after it was taped up. You know?
Well,
Yeah, but I
the
don't
way
think
it was wounded, though, I'd say from about mid
Mid-arm?
forearm,
Yeah.
mid
Mid-arm?
forearm
Mid-forearm.
forward was probably useless, but he probably still had a good use
Yeah,
of
no,
like
he
probably
wasn't like
2/3
because
of his
like
arm.
the worst of this arm injury. Was,
Basically, his entire forearm was wrapped pretty tight with some duct tape.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Like,
and
I
so
mean, you don't have, like, I mean, if you wrap your forearm with duct tape really tightly, you're going to lose blood flow and you're not going to have use
I mean,
of,
I
like,
think he
anything on your
basically
arm.
had a like a corpse
But again-
arm taped to his
Again,
body.
this
Yeah.
is
Yeah, no.
nitpicking. This is
yeah,
nitpicking.
that's exactly what it is. He just had like he didn't use the arm for anything. It was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it's
and-
fine. I'm nitpicking. There was like a scene when they like broke through the floor where she's like kicking floorboards, and then like he breaks like 2 of them, and then like starts pulling up floorboards, and it's like, okay, like if you had started just like prying up floorboards, then like I'm with you, but like the fact that you just like broke some boards in half, and then it's like, okay, now we can just pry these up. It was okay.
Well,
That's
so-
not really how floors work, but sure.
Yeah, but it's a false. It's not an actual floor. There's a meth lab under this Nazi facility.
Okay,
So,
sure.
like it's not like an actual floor.
Sure. I mean, you guys. I mean, yeah, you can say that. I don't know. I thought it was kind of lazy, but I overall enjoyed the movie enough so that I watched it a second time.
Yeah.
Made my wife watch it. She was like, "I'm like, what are you watching?" And she's like, "I'm watching." It was something. I don't know. I don't even remember what she was watching. But she's like, I'm watching this because I wanted to watch something light and fluffy. I'm like, well, we're gonna watch this thing instead because I need to watch it a second time for my podcast. I don't have time other than right now.
It's the opposite of light.
It was the opposite of what
It
she
is,
was watching.
it is the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah. She was surprised that she thought it was an odd role for Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Did she enjoy the movie though?
I don't really know. I think she was more pissed that I made her stop watching whatever she was watching. I think she was watching the Mario movie, the new like animated Mario movie or whatever. Yeah, I think she was watching that. It's like, oh, we're gonna watch this.
Yeah, we're gonna watch some fucking Nazi shit.
Yeah.
Nazi punks, fuck off.
Hey, I'd watch that movie. It got me thinking though, like just the Nazi, like the kind of Nazi thriller genre or whatever. And you guys remember Apt Pupil?
I'm aware of the movie. I have not seen it.
I think I may have watched it a long time ago.
That's not Patrick Stewart. Also,
It is not. It's who is it? It's like, is it Ewan McKellen? It's a sir.
I think it is Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
so that's what.
and it's like Brad something or other, like Brad Renfro or something
Okay,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, it's one of those Brads.
Oh, the director? Or are you saying the actor?
The actor, yeah. But anyway, I remember that being kind of like a cool movie, and it's one I'd like to go back and revisit at some point because it was pretty interesting. I think it had like Stephen King,
Brad Renfro and Ian McKellen.
yeah. Was it based off of like a short story of Stephen King or
I think that actually sounds right.
Some kind of thing like that. I don't know.
So, I definitely can appreciate, like, you can pick every movie apart, and like I get what you're saying with the things that you picked apart.
Yeah,
the arm thing.
I wasn't picking
is,
apart. I'm just saying you could.
Yeah. You always can with every movie.
Yeah.
Every movie, and I've done a lot of that. The arm thing, I'm not too worried about. The floorboard thing, sure, but I think it's a false floor because they're hiding a meth lab.
I think a false floor also, you don't just break boards like that. I mean,
depends on the fucking boards, man. I mean it's
they're
hypothetically.
planks have grains. Whatever. It's unimportant.
Karate,
the biggest thing,
karate
I
history
thought
here comes into play. See, the thing that frustrated me, and it also was kind of just part of the entertainment of the movie, is once so eventually everybody dies, and they don't really drag it out. That's one thing I like about the movie.
I will point out, the dog lives.
The dog.
The dog's gonna die.
Yeah.
But the dog lives.
Yeah.
Like the dog is totally gonna die. They even say it. He's got like an hour.
Yeah.
But like
Much longer than an hour. They
but
totally
you know
fucked
what?
that
You
up.
as the viewer will not have to witness the dog dying.
Nope.
Yep.
Maybe no. I don't think you witnessed any dogs die. But
No,
so
just people.
there's about there's 4 band members plus a chick that's in the green room when they witness this thing go down, and she kind of becomes she and one of the band members, the guy with the fucked up arm, become the survivors.
Imogene Poots is the girl, and
She's like the friend of the deceased.
Yeah, friend of the deceased, trying to escape.
and Anton
The deceased
Yelkin.
was a girl that was trying to escape this Nazi lifestyle.
This Nazi underworld.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But so once the other band members die fairly quickly, they don't really fuck around too much. That's one thing I appreciate about the movie is they didn't waste a lot of time on it. Like once they try.
No, I mean it's like a cool.
They just put you in it.
You feel like maybe they could have tied it up a little at the end, but it is only 95 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
breezy.
But the thing that was the most frustrating to me was once most of the people died, and it ends up being the girl and the guy with the fucked up arm that's all cut up. It's just those two left. And they like get to a point where they're like, okay, we're just gonna fucking act crazy and like, just try to get out of this situation. And she gives this guy the best distractions ever to murder these Nazis by, and this dude is fucking useless.
I mean, he does have a
Each
useless
time.
arm.
I was gonna say I don't know how fast I could load a shotgun one-handed.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's what's stupid. Like, so there's a
I
point.
mean, I think it's fair to say he wouldn't have been physically able to load that shotgun at
No,
all.
he wouldn't have been. The stupid
condition.
part. The stupid part is he had a machete in his good arm,
Yeah.
and he drops the machete after a great fire extinguisher distraction that filled the room with smoke that he could have just snuck up behind a Nazi and stuck him in the back of the fucking head.
He did bang it and clang it on some things, though.
He did. So, like, that's the thing. Like, she's doing all this shit to distract this guy, and this guy's cowering in the back, and she, like, filled this room with fucking fire extinguisher smoke, whatever the fuck you call it. And, like, he waits until it's all gone, knowing exactly where the Nazi is with his back turned, and he, like, misses that opportunity, and then, like, drops the machete again to try to load a shotgun with a fucked up arm. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, it's amazing the guy fucking survived. Like, that was the most frustrating thing for me, was this fucking idiot, like, just dropping the ball several times when this chick is, like, setting him up to just fucking knock it out of the park, and he's just like,
Wow.
So
I feel like I would have been like long passed out if I had his arm. I think I would have passed out
probably.
immediately.
I mean,
and then the
probably,
blood
yeah.
loss,
I mean,
just
realistically,
died.
that's the actual, like,
Well, he didn't
physical-
actually lose that much blood.
Can you imagine how much pain he's in though?
He's in
Yeah.
a lot of pain, yeah.
I mean, I don't know why he didn't lose that much blood, but he didn't.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
duct tape is pretty.
Yeah.
He lost a lot, right? I mean, they didn't really show us exactly how
yeah,
much. But
they just showed like some, like, his arm was definitely cut up, but like it wasn't like you would think it would be like just like hemorrhaging blood. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's open basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wide open. I mean, it's just one of those things you can again take every single movie and like
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
dissecting
Yeah,
each thing.
I'm
Well,
not
you're
always
a horror
like,
movie, so I'm gonna judge you on your gore. You know, like
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
But I mean, like the moment he's putting his arm through the door and something is happening to him.
No, that scene was great. I mean, the scene.
But I
the
mean, like,
scene where he got his arm.
It's just
fucked
like
up was
I
good.
don't know what you're expecting to come back. I think at most you're
wasn't
probably
that.
expecting a stump, you know.
Yeah.
And then like that comes back and it's just like,
It's
oh
like,
my god.
Yeah, yeah, and like, a lot of the loss of blood was happening on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it was pretty
Oh
intense.
my god. Yeah. And he totally sells it. His reaction is so like fucking. Oh,
Yeah.
just like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now there's some great one-liners in the movie. Like as soon as they when they first witness the broad dead, and like immediately the like third in command Nazi underling starts to like handle the situation, and they all like, oh, what happened? And he's just something terrible. Yeah, something very terrible. You're all going to die. You went and you walked in the wrong room at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And then after the dude's arm's all fucked up, and they're finally trying to like make their break and make the escape and
Oh
run
yeah,
for
they're
it.
handing out weapons.
Yeah, handing out weapon. He's like, oh no, I'm just gonna run.
Yeah, they try to hand him like a fucking stick or something.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm just going for it.
I'm just gonna run. Yeah, it's good to be in a horror / thriller and have a character who's not a complete fucking dimwit. He's like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm just running.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Doesn't
Completely
somebody says
realistic.
obviously we should split up, right? And someone's just like,
Yeah.
"Are you joking?"
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
No, I thought it was, for me, it's definitely a super solid for what it is. I think it's 50-50 horror thriller. I think the performances are pretty solid
Yeah.
for everybody. By the end, the people are fucking exhausted and barely able to really handle the situation. And I think that's really, really realistic. And honestly, how all the bases that the Nazi cast covered to like handle the situation was also super realistic. Like,
Yeah.
don't ever go to a Nazi dive bar. Everybody, just don't do it. Like,
And now you know.
yeah, now you know. Like, even if you think it might be okay, it's
Yeah.
just not worth it.
Very, very cathartic ending to all of the Nazi characters as well.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh yeah. No actual
you even-
resolution. Everyone that needed to die died.
Yeah. You,
You
keep
know, like-
thinking someone's going to get away with it. And, I mean, I guess technically one of the Nazis lives, but he does say he will be a witness. So.
Yeah. The guy from Murder Party,
Yes.
who will probably honestly get murdered in prison.
Yeah.
Oh, what dude was he in Murder Party?
He's the werewolf. The guy
He's
who
the guy
keeps
that
putting the werewolf mask
melted
on.
his fucking face into the mask. Yeah, here's that guy.
The other movie that came out before Green Room but after Murder Party from this director is called Blue Ruin.
Yeah.
That actor is the main character of that
Yeah.
movie.
I
He's like a
really,
hobo or something, right?
Kinda, yeah. I think he like just gets out of prison at the beginning and just doesn't have anywhere to go.
We need to do a hobo themed.
Yeah.
Hobo with a
shit.
shotgun.
Yeah, buddy. Hobo with a fucking shotgun.
I would take Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
I haven't seen it.
Hobo triple feature.
And then then his newest movie, I guess, because he doesn't have anything past 2018, is the only one now I've not seen, a Netflix movie called Hold the Dark,
Hold the Dark. I have
starring
not
Jeffrey
watched that.
Wright. You seen that one?
I have not.
Not familiar with that, so maybe I'll have to watch it now because I've seen all of his other
Yeah,
movies.
no, that's interesting. I definitely like his filmmaking enough to
Yeah.
keep checking it out. for
Yeah,
sure.
real.
I haven't watched Blue Ruin yet. I've looked at it so many times I've never pulled the trigger. So I definitely want to watch that one too.
The real good like moodiness to his
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, for sure. Murder Party still just so much fun.
I got
So much fun.
I got him Murder Party on DVD at Goodwill for $2. I
Weirdest
was
fucking
so
find.
surprised to see it because it's not the
Goodwill,
kind of
yeah.
movie like you just
How much was it?
$2 at Goodwill.
It was good. One. Found Murder Party at Goodwill.
This guy's like the fucking Goodwill like super supreme shopper.
I actually, my family, I am known in my family as having the best luck at Goodwill. I am.
Yeah.
Well, I know. We've had the conversation I think on air before. But you can't take this guy anywhere. And it's like, well, I like your shoes. Where'd you get them? Goodwill. I like that jacket. Where'd you get it? Goodwill. Fuck.
Hey man, if you're on top of it, my family was longtime Goodwill shoppers.
Hell
for sure.
yeah,
You just have to be
thrifting is
diligent.
fun.
Like if you are there and you're always like stopping in, like
Yeah.
it's got to be. Yeah, you're
It
gonna
adds
find
like
cool
a
shit.
sense of adventure to clothes
Yeah,
shopping.
for sure.
It's like maybe I'll find something amazing.
Yeah,
Or maybe
like-
I'll find
Here's a jacket with bed bugs.
a polo that somebody's grandpa died in.
Hey man, reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay?
Yeah.
Like it's important.
I've never got bed bugs from Goodwill.
What about head
so-
lice?
They do wash the.
I've never gotten head lice
Yeah,
or
they wash the.
or
scabies.
bed bugs
No,
or
it's
an
the-
STD or
Yeah. Don't buy your condoms at Goodwill.
I mean I've gotten some good deals. They are cheap.
Lambskin. Slightly used. What's a slightly used condom?
I'd say one you probably just didn't finish in. Right?
He
Back
came
in the
while he was
torn
putting it on.
package.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Should we just do final thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, we should do final
We can talk about other stuff. Man, we haven't been going very long, have we?
We haven't. It's Thanksgiving though.
Well,
so
we could also talk about the short film we
we
watched.
can talk about what we're thinking.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's super fucking weird ass thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
my
We need to talk about
God.
this. So let's put a wrap.
Yeah.
Let's put a wrap on Green Room, and then we can talk about this short film
Yeah.
that we watched.
Green Room. My rap is that it's a good horror thriller. I think it's super solid. Across all fronts, it is what it is. For me, it resonated because again, I'm a fucking punk rock dude, so I really appreciated that angle on it. All in all, pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know, it might leave you wanting here or there, but it doesn't tell you it's anything that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So if you misread it, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much where I'm at with it. It's a good film.
Yeah, I would just say, fuck. This movie is good. It's passable. Like I wouldn't say it's great. I don't think it's bad. The word I used was good.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's just
a
good.
solid
It's just a
flick.
good movie.
Yeah, I'd say fuck. This movie is very solid, and I highly recommend it to people who enjoy genres of thriller or horror, or just kind of like grounded action.
If you like punks or Nazis or people getting hacked up or people getting eaten by dogs, this movie might be for you.
Yeah. You know, if you like, if you were to make a list of the top 50 best punk rock movies, this might show up just because it's about a punk rock band, right?
Absolutely, and it's a very like the illustration of that band as punk rock. Yeah, it's
totally a punk rock movie. I mean, if we can just go back to the list of Thanksgiving movies that we popped up earlier, and like,
this is
a lot of those were not really passable, but they were pulling it off somehow.
Yeah. So then, the other movie we watched, a short film available on YouTube. Unfortunately, not in great quality, but I think it's
terrible. I actually like watching it. I'm like, so this is totally not intentional, but also like could have been in an eerie,
it kind of works
way,
because it kind of felt like
we were also watching like some like bootleg shit too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But I think that's the only place you can watch it. But it did kind of make it feel like you recorded on VHS an episode of like a 90s family drama show.
It's like the shitty video quality like worked.
It kind of did, because the set design and stuff felt very like stagey. It did not feel realistic. It felt very like this is a set.
For sure.
Yeah. And so this was by Ari Aster.
Yes, this is like a breakout short film from Ari Aster, the director of Midsummer and Hereditary. It's available on YouTube. It's called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. It is like a very, very singular movie because I don't know what you would compare this to.
There's nothing.
I
mean, so
it is the most unique thing, man.
In the delivery of the story, it's comparable to movies, I'm sure. Because it's it's a very slow burn psychological horror in essence.
Yeah.
So it definitely has comparisons there. But this, in story particularly, no. This you probably will never find.
You just like look at all of the topics that it's on that are so rarely covered by movies, and it's covering like 6 of them, and then like putting a twist on it that's never like as far as I know.
The one thing I will say about it is the overall feel of the movie, like it's kind of ridiculous. And so, like, it just comes off as funny.
It does. It has like
and
that's
like,
what. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I don't think Ari Aster. Like, if you would have told me that this was like Jordan Peele's short film to get him, like get out or something, that'd be one thing. But like,
it's kind of it's weird.
It's fucking weird. And we watched. John and I watched most of Midsummer this past weekend, like the week after, and like there was like. There was a point in Midsummer where you're like, this Ari Aster, I'm starting to think he might have had troubles at home as a youth.
There's another like weird father-son thing happening in that movie too.
Yeah,
among some of the characters, it made it trigger for me.
And I don't know, just if for people who like kind of a heads up as far as topics, is in a very, very weird way, this movie deals with incest and rape, but like not in any way I think you could ever predict without
it's about a father getting molested by a son.
Which is like, I mean,
for years,
it's
for decades.
It's pretty fucking terrifying.
Ever since the child's youth. He'd been molesting his father.
And it all started from him just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
So the opening scene is which is like painful, and like it's already so weird. Like the dad walks in incidentally on his son, who's at the time like what,
jerking off,
12-ish or so, jerking off, and like he's like walks out, and comes back in like, this isn't weird, and like that whole conversation was weird because it took like a really long time for him to say this. And he was
that's the longest scene in the movie.
He was smiling a lot and just being like, it was fucking, it starts off super weird just from that. I'm just like, man, like, come on, creepy dad. Like, it's okay. Come back in an hour. Like, you can have the conversation later.
The kid's kind of like relieved, like, oh, good, this isn't weird what I'm doing. And then like,
he lets the fucking picture fall that he was jerking off to and unfurls, and it is the dad.
Yeah, he was like jerking off to his dad.
Yeah. Oh, and then his dad just came in and very aggressively and assertively like, it's okay for you to be jerking off right now. Whatever you're doing is perfectly natural and healthy. Man, you regret that later.
Oh yeah, I don't even know of another movie that handles like the topic of like father-son
There's none.
molestation, like period. You know,
the
let
only
alone
other instance
such
I've
a weird,
ever
twisted
seen
way.
of like weird relations between father and son like that is the fucking Rick and Morty episode where Rick and the sister go on a fucking world-ending bender, and like in the last planet they go to, like there's some fucking random like slug alien that's like having gay sex with his dad, and then like they bail out of their fucking party, and like the world, or they stop the world from ending, so now this guy just has to like go home to his slug family and like just try to exist. That's the only other time I've ever heard of this subject even broached whatsoever.
Yeah.
And this has got the role reversal that you wouldn't expect, where it's the child.
Yeah, raping. No, the thing, there's a scene. So the scene after you get, son jerking off with the dad, it fast forwards 14 years or something, son's married, and the dad looks just destroyed, like this super happy moment. The dad just like, he looks like he wants to fucking kill himself. And they're taking the family picture with everybody, and then the son, like the camera goes behind and the son's like groping the dad's ass. And then it cuts, and as soon as it cut and the mom is running around like, have you seen them? I'm like, oh yeah, he's sucking his dick. Like, that's happening. And so she finds, looking through a peephole in the fence, like the son aggressively kissing and like undoing his dad's pants, like, sweet Jesus Christ, man.
And then proceeds to do nothing about it. Does not bring
she's
it
just
up.
in shock. And then, so that's the fucked up thing. Like, she's in shock, and it's like, okay, she might be in shock in this moment. It's a big party. That's like a hell of a thing to try to break out in the moment. It's like a year later, like, damn, lady, you're just living with this now.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I do think it's not just, I think that it can easily be perceived as like, oh, it's just about shock value. But I think
No. It's just definitely
the
not.
filmmaking alone is really well done.
So that's, I really do. Like, it's super fucking weird, and it's crazy, and it is shocking, but it's, people could definitely say that oh, this is just, he's just making this so weird so everybody just gets super shocked. But like, it's just super genuine horror. It's horror. Like, there's a scene later after all the revelations that the dad's like sitting in a bathtub and like trying to chill out, listening to some music, and like the son starts banging on the fucking door. And he's like, oh, doesn't quite notice, and the fucking son just kicks in the fucking door and just like rapes him in the bathtub. Like, it is like really horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, the whole
Which
thing
leads
is
to the
real
best
horror.
line in the film. Put that in your book.
Yeah. No, it is definitely as crazy and fucked up as it is definitely still like super genuine horror across the board. Like the scenes, the film, like all the filmmaking definitely checks out.
But I also think it never really dips into like being gratuitous.
No,
like,
it never does.
There's no nudity in it.
I felt like I was watching a Jordan Peele film. I really did. Like it's got the feel of like Nope or Get Out, or like where it's like it's a horror film, but it's a horror film that's about like an exaggerated situation as opposed to being about something that's like the normal, like everyday person would find scary. And like I feel like Jordan Peele kind of is like made a whole new genre with like filmmaking that is basically that, and I definitely got those vibes. And then if you actually watch Ari Aster's films, that's not what it is.
Yeah, it's very different than, I mean, it probably has the most in common with his newest film, Beau is Afraid, but it's still like totally different.
I still need to see that one.
You got 3 hours?
It's 3 hours?
It is 3 hours.
Okay. I definitely need to see Beau is Afraid to complete my Ari Aster journey. But I will say that I really get the sense from Ari Aster though that it's like it's usually like serious, like that was the biggest thing for me. Like, this is like kind of like more playful, even in a like fucked up way,
right?
Yeah.
And that's not the way he usually goes with his films, and so I don't know. It was interesting, and then when we were watching Midsummer, and there was like some kind of hint. Some
Yeah.
kind of like incest, and John's like, "This Ari Aster." I'm starting to wonder, man. You did not have a good childhood.
No, yeah. If after you watch Beau is Afraid, it's just kind of like, does Ari Aster have any good family relationships?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Hereditary. Can you imagine being Ari Aster's mom and watching Hereditary?
Right. Yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah, I will say though, I mean, you could definitely, I could see why it would be the breakout role. I mean, like, and the shock value may have been a degree planned at that point in his career to make that happen. But like, it fucking delivers, and it's a really fucking good film for what it is, for it being a short film. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Solid
fucking
30-minute
man.
film. Yeah.
So yeah, Ari Aster definitely a fantastic master of horror for sure.
Yeah. I'm
And
excited.
again, like really capturing like horror, you know,
Yeah.
like the disturbing level of horror. Because that's the thing. Like I have a huge issue with horror that is just shock value, that is just gore porn. Like horror needs to be disturbing to be horror. Like you have to be.
Well, this movie
unsettled.
This movie definitely fit the bill.
Oh, yeah.
It was disturbing as
Yeah.
fuck. Actually, what's messed up is like it actually stole the show from Green Room. We watched a whole movie, a full length feature film, and then like we watched the short film after, and like I was laying in bed and I was just like
Thinking about-
haunted by the
Yeah.
short film that we watched. Like Green Room was like the furthest thing from my mind at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's
It's,
totally understandable.
It's intense, man. It's intense.
But yeah.
Getting raped by your son.
multiple good
not
picks,
being
man.
anybody wants to think
Yeah,
about.
and I said
Good pick on Green Room, although I don't think it was the best pick for you at the time. But good movie for your pick, and then also
I've since I picked this, I've now have like 5 movies
that you
that
wished
I wish I could pick right now, but I don't think I'll get another pick this year, unfortunately. But because like I'm on a huge Martin Scorsese kick, I'm on a huge Paul Thomas Anderson kick.
yeah.
Right.
The Coen brothers. Like I really want to watch some of these guys that I haven't like finish out some of their filmographies.
Right.
But you know, Green Book is still a great movie. Or,
Did it
God
again.
fucking damn
He
it.
did it
Green
again.
Book.
Green Room. I cannot stress enough. I do
I
not
will watch
endorse
Green
Green
Book
Book.
this weekend just for you, and I will have a full report.
You know,
on Green Book.
I feel like there's a scene where they're eating a big feast. It could be Thanksgiving.
I just have a random this like I don't really know anything about the movie other than like award prowess for the film and stuff, but it's been on my list forever and I always skim past it. I know you've seen like everything. So Moonlight.
Oh yeah, no, that movie's great. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like I should definitely watch it ASAP because like it's one of them that always catches my eye and I really don't know anything about it.
It's a great one. Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
think the next movie he did was If Beale Street Could Talk, which is
I love
really-
Beale Street.
You've seen that movie?
No, but I love Beale Street.
Like
It's,
the real thing?
yeah, you know,
Okay.
it's one of my favorite places on earth. It's so good.
Yeah, you should watch If Beale Street Could Talk. It's based on a James Baldwin book. It's really good. Moonlight is very different, but also very good. And yeah, I really like Moonlight. It's a good one. I recommend it. It's gay, so like heads up if you are not expecting that. I don't know if you're always up for gay movies,
But
but it's
how gay is it?
gay.
Okay. I can handle
No, it's a
that.
great movie.
So
Though.
it's not Gods and Monsters gay.
I haven't seen that one. So
That's about the gayest movie you'll ever.
there's a hand job on a beach.
Yeah, you know.
That's not like the pinnacle of the gayness, but that's
Gods and Monsters is just about a like perverted old man
Yeah.
that like keeps trying to molest his lawn boy. It's about James Whale, who made like all the great horror films of the 30s, and like so.
See, you've made me curious to watch this movie because
Yeah.
you said it was like too gay or something.
But the thing is, I expected to watch it. I watched it expecting to see like a docudrama about James Whale, and like what I got was here's James Whale as an old man trying to molest his lawn boy. And, like that's literally the movie. Like,
Right.
and it's like every once in a while, it's like let's show the Lawn Boys some of my old movies. You know, like, it's just like this movie's fucking weird. Also, Sir Ewan McKellen plays James Whale.
Maybe he's just a weirdo.
Yeah, this movie got nominated for Oscars. I don't know why.
But yeah, I don't know if it's available high quality anywhere, but there's something strange about the Johnsons.
There is something strange.
If you
The strange thing about the Johnsons. It's on YouTube, free, low quality, but 30 minutes, definitely.
it's worth your 30 minutes.
Yeah, it is,
You're up
for
for
sure.
the topics.
Now let's be honest about this. It's only going to take you 30 minutes to watch the film, but it has been 5 days, 7 days,
7 days. Yeah.
7 days
Yeah.
since I watched it, and I'm still trying to scrub parts of it out of my mind. So, watcher beware.
Impactful.
Just when you thought it was safe to have a relationship with your dad.
You should do
With
previews.
your son. When you thought it was
son.
safe to have a relationship with your son. You want to play catch? No! No, Billy, no. I'm not playing catch today.
guy with the deep voice.
It's a
Touchstone
father's
Pictures.
relationship for the ages.
Shit.
Story
right.
of a man
So,
and a human experience.
So that movie is something.
It's something.
Final thoughts on that.
All right, so thumbs up on Green Room, thumbs up on whatever the fuck that thing was.
The
that
strange
followed.
thing about the Johnsons.
Yeah.
Strange thing about the Johnsons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I give thumbs up on both.
yeah, for sure.
Actually, make for a nice little pairing. I do think that the strange thing about the Johnsons, if you could like do that before watching like Get Out or Nope, like
It's like the
Right.
Pixar short before.
It'd be like the
Yeah.
Pixar short before
Yeah.
watching a Jordan Peele movie. I think that's
Shit.
the way to play that going forward. All right, so we got a couple things left to cover, and we'll let you get to your Thanksgiving preparations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to hear from both of you. I don't know who wants to go first. Reese, we need to hear about what's in theater. John, we need to hear about what we're gonna do in the next episode.
Go ahead and do the theater first.
All right.
I suppose.
It's actually, it makes sense. It's a holiday weekend, but there's a good selection of stuff, of a big variety in theaters right now. There's Trolls and the new Disney movie. Don't care about those. There's a couple Christian movies. Don't care about that. Five Nights at Freddy's is still in theaters, and the new Thanksgiving are out. If you want a horror movie, if you want like a more indie drama, we still have
I might try to like catch that thing.
the
Like,
Thanksgiving. Let me know, because
I
I
don't know
want to
if the
see
men's
it.
like men top 42 and it's number one, or you just
It's
are you,
number one. I
They,
mean,
they put it number one.
it beat out Sam
and they
Raimi's
compared
Spider-Man.
it. They compared it to like I have to find the article, but they compared it to like they're like Halloween.
I mean, I've honestly
as
heard.
Halloween
I've heard good things.
and like Christmas has Black Christmas. Now Thanksgiving has its slasher film. Is basically how the like.
I'll watch it.
Their list review.
What was that turkey one?
One with
Zom?
it-
Is it Zom? It's not Zom turkeys
No,
or
no,
something.
it's oh fuck! I was just thinking about that movie the other day. I can't think of the actual name. It's
I know-
something
I know what you're
super
talking about. You-
Gimmicky and sticky.
Yeah,
you told me
Thanksgiving.
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 Thanksgiving,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's
That was
I
already
bet it didn't
taken.
even make the fucking list. I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, if you want a good indie drama, we've got Priscilla, like I said, and then the new one from starring Paul Giamatti from Alexander Payne, The Holdovers, is out.
Oh, I actually really want to see that one.
I also want to
the
see it,
The
yeah.
trailer looked like right up my alley. Just
Yeah.
like dry humor. And
Yeah.
dude, Paul Giamatti.
I love
you
Paul
dude,
Giamatti.
I
Yeah,
love
for
Paul
sure.
Giamatti as well.
He's great.
If you want a historical epic, Killers of the Flower Moon is still out, and Napoleon just came out this weekend.
I'm
Or
interested
is
in
coming out
seeing
this
that.
weekend.
I'd like to
I'm-
see his
Is it
performance.
Ridley
there.
Scott again?
It's Ridley Scott, unfortunately.
It's like man.
His historical epics are kind of 50-50.
He's got his guy, right? Like Joaquin Phoenix is
Yeah.
definitely his guy.
I'm kind of seeing it for Joaquin at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for sure.
I've been blown away by him over and over again the last few years. He's fantastic. Yeah, I'm seeing that on Sunday actually. If you want a big
If I had to
blockbuster,
guess, I'm just gonna throw a guess out for that movie. I think it'll be a good movie, not a great movie, but I think he'll be great.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's
that's
what
what
I'm
I
expecting.
expect from really from the director at this point in his career. Like I don't think he does his best work, but I think he knows how to,
Yeah, he's still making.
put good
He's a
actors in
competent
place
filmmaker
and-
still,
Yeah,
you know.
he's a competent filmmaker, but like I don't know.
Yeah, he's past his prime.
It's
for sure.
it's hard, it's also hard to criticize. It's so many times, whether it's a musician or a film director, an actor, like when they do their best, not really with actors.
Yeah,
but
not actors.
when you're creating something.
Yeah.
And like the best thing that you did was the first thing that you did. That just makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, all your creative energy is going to go into that first thing. And then like whatever you have left over goes into the next thing. And like,
Well, then you have a career and you have to maintain things, and
It is
it's like
the rare thing.
Not everybody
when
can
you-
be like Stephen King, where you just shit out a new novel every like 4 months or whatever.
Or like Martin Scorsese,
And none of
who
the-
j-
and
who
not all of
just,
Stephen
he just
King's
gets better.
fucking-
He just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
and not all of Stephen King's shit's great, and there are some guys that keep
but
getting
I'm just
better,
talking about
but-
like the amount of creative energy
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
have in you, because
Yeah.
to tell a story and to write a story, like, I mean, I'm sure we've all had like homework assignments where we had to do that at some point. And like telling a story, it's hard. You got to think, it takes time.
Yeah.
And like, especially coming up with all those characters and everything. And
It's a shit ton of work for sure.
Yeah.
and like when the first one, you put so much energy into it because you have to get noticed. And then like, okay, you did it. Now do it again. And it's like so much went into that first one. What do you have left?
Yeah.
I've also found his historical epics to be pretty like hit or miss. Most time miss. Like just like not even bad, just like I don't know. Did I need to see that?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hesitant to go into it, but I'm hoping for at least an interesting, like visually stunning movie.
Well, I think it'll definitely be visually stunning. I think he'll
Yeah.
have a really good, solid performance.
I've heard the battle scenes in
Thieves.
it are actually really awesome.
Yeah.
So if you want a big blockbuster, we've got The Marvels, which I think is fun. But if you are not into Marvel movies anymore, don't even
Yeah.
consider it.
I can't imagine that I'd enjoy any
No.
part of that.
And then the new Hunger Games movie, which I don't know.
Probably, you probably have
It's
to
a
be
Hunger
invested
Games
in
movie.
that.
Yeah. And then the last one is Taika Waititi's new movie called Next Goal Wins, which is, as far as he goes, I don't know. It's like a true story sports movie, but it looks really funny. It's got Michael Fassbender in it. It's Michael Fassbender's an American coach who gets hired to go like teach like the worst this team in like
that's-
American Samoa
Yeah.
soccer team, and it's like if you like Cool Running or something, it's probably going to be something like that, of like just a fun.
So it's Ted
Yeah.
Lasso, the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but he's an asshole. Like he's a alcoholic
Oh, okay.
and shitty guy. So there's
Ted Lasso is not an asshole.
no. But yeah, I'm probably gonna see it. It is Taika Waititi, and I love Michael Fassbender. So, but yeah, I think there's a wide variety of like pretty okay movies right now
Yeah.
in theaters,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see one.
except for Killers of the Flower Moon, which is like incredible. It's
Killers.
just
Have
incredible.
we had an episode since we
Since
do-
you
do-
watched it?
Yeah. Do we need to do a minute on?
We could, yeah. You want? Yeah. I mean, I think I've gushed about it like nonstop.
Okay. I'll
yeah,
just
you
give
can
you
talk
a
about
few words on it. Lily
Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone. She's been. I looked her up. She's been in a few bit parts before this film. Somehow Scorsese found her, like instant star. She's fucking amazing. Like she is just flat out amazing. She was the one I was most impressed with.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up De Niro and his performance. I agree. It's one of the better ones I've seen from him in years.
Yeah. Probably of the last like 10 years at the least.
And
his
a lot
best
of that's just
performance.
because he has just like in his old age has been just kind of playing the same old man.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he plays a different old man. And so
Very like scary, but not like physically imposing. He looks like a little old man. Like he looks small.
yeah,
And that's so unusual for
yeah.
Robert De
It's
Niro.
like everything that he says is like so nice and positive that you just know that this man is like fucking
Yeah.
like low. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's too obvious. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then DiCaprio, man, like he's just the best actor like on the planet. I'm sorry, he just is right
Yeah,
now.
I
like
agree.
he's just great in anything.
He is.
And it's
He's
like
fantastic.
if he chooses to be in your movie, you should, do whatever it takes to make sure he's happy while he's doing your movie.
Yeah.
It'll be a better movie for
Yeah.
it, no, performance is absolutely outstanding. Runtime, I would say, is deserved.
I agree.
I don't think you could there was a couple of things I don't want to get into specifics because it is new and a lot of people haven't had a chance to see it yet. But the way they did the very ending,
Mm-hmm.
it's just it was kind of weird because it's just reminding you that this is a bio kind of a thing.
I feel like it really worked though.
It worked.
It kind of got like the message
for the runtime. They also could have cut it. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
I don't. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I don't think. I don't hate that he left it, but also when you're trying to get people to go see a movie, and you're precious minutes, they didn't really need it. It didn't need to go down that way. But I get that the whole thing was because he does the little intro. Scorsese does an intro before the movie starts, and basically said this is a story he's been wanting to tell for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'd never heard the story. I was completely unaware of it.
Yeah,
That there was
same.
a fucking Indian tribe that basically struck oil on where we told them that they could live, and they were smart enough to work the government to get the oil money. And then this whole movie is basically about the white man's attempt to steal that money back from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
very violently.
yeah, it's just an incredible film. It's gonna win lots of everything.
It's got to be a front runner for Best Picture. I don't know. There's been nothing this year even close. I think
I think it's gonna get. I think it's gonna get another statue for Scorsese. I think is what's gonna happen. I think that's the most likely.
Yeah, I could see
thing.
that.
But also, I could see Lily Gladstone. I really could.
If 6 months from now, somebody told me, "Hey, DiCaprio, De Niro, Gladstone, Scorsese, they all win. They also get Best Picture and Best Screenplay," I would not be surprised. It's that good.
And just knowing, going into it, knowing that when they first started to make the film, he realized that he was focusing on the wrong things and rewrote the entire script. That made me love it even more. Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah.
Because you hear that and it's just this could be a pile of shit. It's we started shooting. I was I need to rewrite the entire script. It's that's usually how movies turn out bad.
Yeah. It's very interesting because the character he was originally going to focus on doesn't show up in this movie till an hour or almost 2 hours into the movie. So it's it would have been a completely different movie.
And that was the thing. Jesse Plemons plays the authority figure. This story is about the very first murder investigation by the FBI. This is the newly formed FBI. And
they're not even calling it the FBI.
Yeah. It's just the bureau. It's just called the Bureau of Investigation at this point. So Jesse Plemons, originally, that character was going to be played by DiCaprio, and so the whole time I'm watching the movie, we're 2 hours into the movie. I'm where the fuck is Jesse Plemons? Isn't he supposed to be in this?
Yeah.
And then you find out. It's okay. It would have been weird if you put DiCaprio's name on the poster and then you show up and you're 2 hours into the movie, it's where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
So,
no. That movie would have been basically just about the investigation process.
Yes.
So it's probably the first 2 hours of the movie would be shortened into 20 minutes or something. It just would have been a completely different movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think this is far better than whatever he had originally planned.
Yeah, but it's fucking incredible. It's about it's a long con basically. It's a long con to get money from a race by they're thinking about it hey, you know what? If we breed with their women, then technically some of that money's ours now, and it's just this long thought out thing. It's well, we marry him over here, and then she dies. Well, now we own that. It's like just it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy the lengths that like to think that this is like a true story and like this actually happened is like.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, that's just like that's the same shit that's happened in our fucking species forever.
No, for sure.
It's
not to discount. I mean, fuck, those are my people. Like those are my people.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's like the monarchies of Europe. I mean, it's like that's what it is. Like using that's.
It's just shocking.
The law
water down the bloodline.
This is in the 1920s,
the
and it's a
in
story.
Control, you know,
in 100 years, it's a story that's like basically been like we didn't know about it. You know, I felt the same way about when I heard about the Black Wall Street story that was also in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, which is they mentioned in the movie that's a plot point in the Watchmen TV show. Which, if you haven't seen, you need to watch. It's fantastic.
I've seen it.
Yeah. When I watched that, I was also like, "Oh my god, this is such a disturbing event they made up for this show." And then, like, I found out very shortly after that the Tulsa Massacre is real, and it's like, and I just hadn't heard about it. Like this entirely black city that was just wiped off the map in one day. You know, it's insane. Yeah. Fantastic movie though. Highly, highly, highly recommend it.
I spent more than a minute, but agree. It's a masterpiece. It's one of the best things he's ever done.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I could say.
I think it's a really good companion piece with Wolf of Wall Street too.
Okay, that's fair. Very different movies.
Very different movies.
All right, so now we're on the John.
All right.
Right, we're done.
I think we're done.
John. Now we're moving on to the next episode, which will be number 16.
All right. So it's a movie that I didn't know existed for a long time, and then actually was brought to my attention by Reese, and we both thought that we're kind of surprised it hasn't come up yet.
I'm surprised he didn't pick it last week.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised he didn't pick this. Yeah. And John's like, fuck it, I'm going to pick it.
It's a seasonally appropriate, I suppose, to a degree as well. I'm going to pick The Last Temptation of Christ.
Oh, my God. No, that was literally, I was almost going to ask, like, these two movies you guys pick.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, fuck it, we'll just do Green Room. Yes. No, I got it right.
Yeah.
No. Oh, my. You haven't seen it?
No.
You haven't seen it?
I didn't even know.
Oh,
I didn't even know that it was a thing.
No, but you know what's funny is The Last Temptation of Christ came up. Like, we had a discussion, but, like, it came up in the last episode, and you got to the end, you're like, I don't know what to pick. And it's just like, we're like looking at each other, like, I thought this one was going to be like a
thing here?
Yeah. Well,
like
you know,
and so
this would have been a shoe-in pick for me, probably within the next. I mean, Scorsese, so like it might have been.
Yeah, no, it's just it's right on the money. So yeah, that's I think that's what it's going to be, because I was immediately intrigued.
Oh,
just hearing Scorsese, Jesus, Defoe, like, all right, let's go. Let's see what this is. I mean, this is super interesting.
So excited.
And especially like...
That's two of my favorite people of all time.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
and
Scorsese. They're both on my necklace here.
I'm super curious to see what this looks like, because like as a person that's not religious, I don't necessarily have any ill will to the idea and character of Jesus. So like
I'm excited about seeing Defoe.
I'll just say,
as Jesus,
as someone who was raised their entire life, up into 18, like kind of being made to go to church and hearing about how great Jesus was, this movie felt more like endearing of Jesus to me than 18 years of
would your parents like
preaching.
It?
No, they would not.
Yeah.
No, they would not.
The thing is, like, Jesus, like, so as far as I've ever, my thoughts on that historical figure / character, however you want to look at it, is it's most likely probably pretty simple. And so that's why I don't necessarily have a problem with the idea of that character in general, is like what I would imagine Jesus would be the same as any other person through history that was like, hey, things can be different. We can be nice to each other. And then the state was like, you're dumb. Now we murder you. And then, hey, let's use your murder to create something new.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, I mean, that's probably just what Jesus actually is. The same as Gandhi any of these people.
I mean, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X,
murdered over time. Like it's just a guy like, hey,
Yeah.
let's not be dicks, and they're like, no, fuck you, buddy.
They murder someone and go, oh my God, wasn't it so sad that guy was murdered?
Yeah. I have no issue with the story of the character of Jesus. I have no issue with the character of Jesus. I don't even bother. I mean, because there's always debates like, oh, was he real? Like, fuck, probably. I don't really think it matters if he was or wasn't. Like, that's not actually the thing we should be talking about. But yeah, so I'm always pretty curious on. I'll watch an iteration of that story.
Yeah.
Just to see, like, why not?
It's the kind of thing that it's a shame because this movie was like protested when it came out by like Catholics and Christian groups and stuff. And it's such a shame because like anytime like a competent artist is taking on this kind of story, like a well-known story, you know they're going to have something interesting to say. And I think this is like a very loving and like respectful portrayal of Jesus. Right. And it makes his sacrifice like so much more meaningful. And so it's so weird that it was protested by people who really should have appreciated it.
Yeah, they just got some of their details crossed as far as they were concerned. You know, told things about fucking random interpretations.
Yeah.
It didn't line up with somebody's interpretation. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard about it, I was super, super intrigued. So
a little bit of a longer movie, I believe.
2.5. I think
I was
gonna
say not
like
Dogville long,
not
but
gross.
Okay.
But
I remember from my old my original Blockbuster days, and it was a 2 VHS taper.
Some of those were like unnecessary though. You sure that wasn't like
I mean, Scarface was too. Scarface's.
Yeah, it's an hour and 63 or 163, so that's 2 hours 43 minutes. So it's pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Sure. That's
it's no Killers of the Flower Moon, but
right. Yeah,
it's about an hour shorter.
It's no Once Upon a Time in America where there's like a
director's cut.
It's like I'll never forget the review I read of that movie. It's like the audacity of these motherfuckers putting an intermission at the 2 hour and 47 minute mark. Like, damn.
Yeah.
It's not streaming on any services, but it's available to buy on Amazon, YouTube, Google, Vudu, all of those places, and rent. So find your ways to watch it. Highly, highly, highly recommend, especially if you're a Scorsese fan.
And hey, it's Christmas time.
Yay! It's Christmas.
Jesus.
David Bowie is also in this movie. That's kind of like my main draw at the time I watched it.
Right on.
All right, so there it is. Join us soon.
Yeah,
2
weeks.
Hopefully, Christmas themed episode.
Yeah, should be 2 weeks, no problem on my end. So yeah,
it's technically Easter, but
All right.